Today we're making the ever so popular Japanese-style roll cake. To get the perfectly light and fluffy texture, I've gone through dozens of recipes and ultimately arrived at this super simple yet delicious roll cake recipe. Are you ready? For the cake, you'll need 5 eggs, 60 grams of cake flour, 70 grams of milk, 50 grams of corn oil, 50 grams of sugar, and vanilla extract. First, let's separate the eggs. Keep the egg whites in the fridge for later use. In a mixing bowl, combine the corn oil and milk and stir until emulsified. Sift the flour and continue mixing in a Z shape until all of the flour is combined into the mixture. Next, add the egg yolks one by one into the mixture and stir until combined. If you wish, you can add some vanilla extract. At this point, the mixture is slightly thick but still runny. Now let's make the meringue. Beat the egg whites on low until large bubbles appear and add a third of the sugar. Then turn up the hand mixer onto the highest setting and continue to beat until foamy white. Now add a third of the sugar. Continue beating until you see clear swirl marks in the meringue. You can now add the remaining sugar. Beat for a little more until soft peaks form. For this recipe, we're looking for gentle, bendy peaks, so careful not to overbeat. Now combine the meringue with the batter a third at a time and be sure to mix gently but quickly so that the meringue does not deflate. I recommend using a whisk first and later switching to a spatula. Pour the batter into your baking pan at a decent height. This will help to remove larger air pockets from the mixture. Gently smooth the surface and bake at 160 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. Once the cake is done, knock it a few times to remove additional air pockets. Flip it to remove the baking sheet and set it aside to cool. Meanwhile, let's prepare the fresh coffee whipped cream, 150 grams of cream, 18 grams of sugar, and instant coffee. Combine all of the ingredients and mix on medium speed. Since we're using the cream as a filling, we want a more stable product, and so we're going to mix for a little longer to make sure we have a slightly thicker cream. Now make sure the cake has cooled and flip it over so that the outer layer will be at the bottom. Cut both edges at a 45-degree angle. This will help us to seal the roll later. Spread the cream onto the cake evenly, leaving an extra heap near one of the edges. You can use a rolling pin to assist you in rolling up the cake. Gently tuck the cake forward and use the rolling pin to roll and seal. You can leave it in the fridge for 15 minutes or so before serving to stabilize. And here's the finished product. Soft, fluffy, and not too sweet. I can have this all day. Easy enough? Try it at home.